Hello world, this is Jeffrey, JGB146 Blake, coming to you with episode 8 of the exploits of Necrozma Garbodor. In this episode, we're going to be featuring another round of the matchup that was giving us some trouble before, the Volcanion matchup. And this will be played with the updated deck list, specifically looking this time at the Mewtwo deck list. So look at, I think it's video number 6 where we talk about some of those changes, but or you can just look at the list below and see how it plays. Without further ado, we'll go ahead and dig straight into the match. Okay, so we have classic Volcanion typing with Water, Fire, and Psychic. So that looks likely to be Volcanion, which obviously I'm making the video. It is Volcanion. Kind of a rough start here. You don't really want to start out with Mewtwo or Lele, but at least if we lead with Mewtwo, we can then bench Lele. So we'll see what our opponent is starting. They're starting Lele. That's at least something for us, right? I guess they must have top-decked the Volcanion, because clearly it would start Baby Volcanion if you could. Okay, so here we are. I think it's probably worth it to get some damage down. Poke the Lele a little bit. We see him set up. And what's going to happen? Okay. Sycamore, he gets an energy on there, presumably to retreat. Wonder if he's going to retreat this turn. I sort of don't care if he does or doesn't, because if he doesn't, then we get a hit on Lele, and if he does, then we get a hit on the Baby Volk. Here we're going to go through, try to check our prizes, and I think I might have been a little wrong on what the prizes were, because I was thinking, I was running C's line here, where he has 4 Trubbish, 4 Garb, as opposed to my line with a 3 split. So I thought I knew what our prizes were, but I was wrong. In any case, I was familiar with the things that I want being there, and that's sort of the most important thing. So took away too much time there searching through, trying to identify prizes, and actually, as it turns out, doing it incorrectly. But moving on. Need to do that more, need to get better at it. We're going to go ahead, we're going to get Brigette, we're going to get down our main guys. So I think what we want in this game is going to be basically one each of our standard lineup for Trubbish, Koko, and Necrozma. That looks good. I think we want, I almost want 2 Trubbish, but Koko spreading is just too good to turn down. So we'll go ahead, see if the elixir will hit. It probably won't with us already having 2 energy in our hand. Oh, it does. Nice. Okay. And then here I'm gonna attach to the Mewtwo to go ahead and get some damage down. It'll make it that much easier to KO the Lele later on. I sort of don't like the fact that we don't have an energy now for Tapu Koko, but it is what it is. See another Volcanion come down and a Staru. So that's probably, I mean, those are going to be our targets, right? Those are our 3 prizes, or well, 6 prizes, 3 KOs. So I think that we can go ahead and hopefully start setting up Necrozma, aiming for that, GX attack, and hopefully pulling it off before they're able to seriously injure Necrozma. Well, injury's fine, knockout is not. See some choice bands coming down. I don't really understand attaching a choice band to Lele, but maybe he thinks that's going to serve him well. He probably doesn't want to attach it to the other Volk because he wants to potentially attach a Float Stone later, but I think that's a slight issue. Okay, and here we see one steam up. I guess we saw a steam up earlier and I didn't commentate it. Sorry about that. We got 2 steam ups. He hit us for 80. And let's check his item count. Okay, we've got 3 items in there. That's not enough. That's not enough. Okay, so I think what we're going to want to do is go ahead and evolve the Garbodor. And then we can attach an energy to Necrozma because we'll just go ahead and attack again with Mewtwo. And oh, perfect! We got a Float Stone. We have another Ultra Ball that we could use. There's a little part of me that is tempted to try to get another Trubbish out, but I'm gonna wait for now. We do want to attach the Float Stone though, definitely. Okay, turn off abilities, and now, unless he has a Field Blower, he's not going to be able to KO Mewtwo for 3 turns. That's nice. That little bit of survivability there is definitely better than what we would see with Meowth, so I guess I can say that Mewtwo buying us a little bit of time is worthwhile. Our opponent plays an in, that's good for us. After this turn though, he is going to have fully powered up Volcanions, so we need to start thinking about what we're going to do. Okay. We do have a switch card off of that end. Then we get some Sycamores and... Okay, well, we want to see if the Elixir hits. That's our first priority. So let's find out. Yeah, drop it. Come on. It doesn't hit. I'm not super surprised. I'd like to see it hit, but it doesn't. That's okay. Alrighty. So we can switch. I think we want to switch and start spreading damage. Getting more damage onto Volcanion Baby is not going to help us. Saving the Guzma could be good, but I think having new cards is way more important. Okay. This is good. So we're definitely not going to play the Mewtwo EX. Devolving Starmie is not that helpful. We're just going to get some spread damage on now. Just holding the choice bands. Having any tool in hand to deal with, to activate Garbotoxin if he gets a Field Blower is worth it, I think, in this matchup, because he's so slow otherwise. My opponent may be making some minor mistakes in keeping the Baby Volk up in the active instead of bringing the Volcanion EXs up now that they're powered up. I think one of their chief strengths is that they can, come out and apply lots of pressure once they get ready to go. And he's just kind of using them as energized bench attack boosts for a 20 damage attack. It did boost it up to 80, but like I said, I think this is a point where we want to go ahead and reactivate Garbotoxin. We can use the Ultra Ball and get down another. There's a part of me that likes the Trubbish idea, and there's a part of me that really wants to be able to continue to spread so that we can get those prizes. So I think I want to get another Koko set up. here again, we're in that spot where we sort of would like, we want 2 attachments, right? I go ahead and attach 2 Koko because we have the DCE there, and I think that it's better to get that out. I will note too that we have a Guzma in hand, so even if you were to bring up Trubbish, we're still gonna be able to come out of it. So he's not gonna be able to just like stall until he can get the KO. Well, we had it in hand. It was ours. Alas, it is taken. Okay, so what are we looking at? We still have the Guzma. Alrighty. Okay, let's try that elixir again. You know, why not? Oh, it hits, and we have energy in hand. All at the same time. What do we want to do with the energy in hand? I think we just hold it for right now. I can't think of, like, I guess I could attach to Lele. To potentially have Lele as a backup attacker. But otherwise, I think we just hold it. And here, I'm debating about pulling off the GX versus getting more spread in. Just because he doesn't, even if he's able to Guzma up Necrozma, he has to have Guzma, and he has to have Field Blower, and he has to have Fire Energy. And I feel like that combination is unlikely enough that we could have continued spraying, but I do go ahead and attach Lele. It's bitten me in the butt a few too many times to not take this gift when it's offered, and we are going to get prizes off of the Lele immediately. Ah, we get 2 Float Stones. Well, now we have answers if he Field Blowers us. So both Volcanion EXs are now 2 spread attacks away from being KO'd. And I don't think our opponent has any way to prevent us from attacking twice. So this game is basically ours at this point. We can manually retreat. Yeah. It's locked up. Go ahead and stick this up here. If we end up getting a Guzma, we can speed up our attack process. We do not, but we get a Float Stone. So we could have manually retreated without the Float Stone, but obviously having one makes it better. So we'll retreat into the damaged Koko just for now, so that we can take a more devastating KO on an EX if need be, or if he sends something else up. It really doesn't matter, but I just feel like saving the Choice Band, I guess, on the off chance that somehow something goes different. And he is going to come up. And, okay, so he's elixiring. Was he trying to go elixir onto that baby? Is he still dreaming dreams of powering up a baby? Okay. So he Lysanders the Necrozma. Because he wants to get out some hate on it. Get out some anger. That's fine. We're going to win this turn. Or he'll concede. Okay. So, I thought I was going to wrap up at this point, but as luck would have it, I went ahead and decided to play one more match for the night, and that match was not Volcanion, I guess. I would call it Firebox, but it still qualifies as Volcanion, I think, in the classic sense. It plays 3 Volcanion even when they don't come into play. But, so, another Volk match, so to speak. So we're going to go ahead and we'll get another match and get the video out sooner rather than later. So, that's good. We get a much better start this time around with a Tapu Koko up front. And our opponent mulligans twice. We can tell there that their list has definitely been updated significantly for Burning Shadows. I almost feel like the one we were facing the previous match was not. But this one definitely is. Actually, I recognize our opponent here too, Mr. Cinephile. So he's running a strong list, and he's able to get off the turn 1 Kiawe into Ho-Oh. And he also attaches a Fighting Fury Belt to boost his HP. That's kind of a pain. You know, 2 hits with Koko and a Choice Band would KO a non-Fury Belted Ho-Oh. I kind of want to save Koko from doing, you know, big damage. We're gonna do the standard setup with Brigette. Let's go ahead and check for prizes. So we can tell one of our Garbodors was prized. One of our Kokos, one of our Necrozmas. At the time, I thought that there were a couple more Garb lines prized there, so I incorrectly identified the prizes. Again, it was, like I said, same series of play. I'm fixing it. I'm gonna know what's going on. So we bridge it. I will get one Trubbish. We definitely want the other Koko and Necrozma. Don't think anyone... Although, you could argue that Mewtwo could be useful here with all the energy that they're going to have. Mewtwo will hit for 100 without a Fury Belt on a powered up Ho-Oh. So, that could have been a thought as well. And here I'm just still going through and counting prizes. And maybe I did get the count right, because I identified there at the end that I had prized energy. But in any case, we're going to go ahead and evolve the Trubbish. Well, not evolve, I'm sorry, attach Float to the Trubbish for a later evolution. We don't have any items yet, so there's no use really worrying about it. But I like it as a threat. So we're going to hit for 120. We're going to lose the Lele. In retrospect, I think it would have been better for us to actually grab Baby Mewtwo instead of the Trubbish, and use Baby Mewtwo to hit for 100 here and only give up one prize. Finally, I see a reason for Baby Mewtwo. That's okay though. We dropped the Float Stone. Don't really care. If anything, we were sort of baiting our opponent at this point. I like them to use their Field Blowers early, especially when it doesn't really matter. Then when we need them later, they come in all the more useful. Okay, so we will advance a Koko, and first things first, we will see if the Max Elixirs hit. One hits, it's going on to Necrozma. The second one does not hit. Okay. We're going to go ahead and attach a Choice Band to the active. It doesn't matter. We'll retreat if we aren't able to find an energy. We can attach a Float to Trubbish again, and then we'll end. Right. So I'm not sure that we care about turning off abilities. At this point, right now, we're only fighting against Lele if we do that. So yeah, I think Once again, I decided to GX as early as possible. And if I had been certain I was doing this, it might have been worthwhile to attach a Choice Band to Koko instead. Or I'm sorry, to Necrozma instead of Koko. But the one thing we would have gotten the KO there. However, if you look at the board, our position is phenomenal. Because we can attach DCE and then play Guzma, attach DCE to Koko, play Guzma, and we'll get 4 prizes on Ho-Ohs without him even being able to really attack a second time. Unless he's able to play games as well. That's definitely our gameplay. So he gets a Tapu Lele. Am I going to wish that we had evolved the Garb? Okay, we see a Max Elixir come down and miss. And then we see Lele. Lele 4. He doesn't have any way to retreat if he gets Guzma, so he still wouldn't be able to attack. So Sycamore makes more sense. Okay. Lele for Sycamore. Sycamore's gonna come down. Oh, binging a baby. Baby's not gonna help you, bud. Not at this point. The power is ours. Max Elixir. On to Turtonator. Okay. Oh, and a manual attachment. So that could be a big hit. Not big enough though. He can only hit us for 170. And he needs to hit us for 180. Okay, so he just does the snipe attack for 60 because he gets the 10 bonus. We're gonna do our Guzma play. And take 4 prizes with a flying flip. That sounds fun. Counting items there, we've got 5 items in the discard now, so Garb will do a good 100 damage. He could be a good follow-up attacker for anybody. So, I mean, he'd get a KO on anything that's left after we spread this damage. So I think it's worth it for us to go ahead and evolve into Trashalanche just to give us another avenue of attack. See what we get off of these 4 prizes. The side benefit about Garb as well is that it may get our opponent to waste their energy discard attacks on a 1 prize Pokemon. We're happy about that too. Another Fighting Fury Bell onto Lele. That's a shame because we could have done a Lele for Guzma play next turn to take out the benched Lele with Necrozma. As is, we can only hit... I guess we could still do that actually. That's not what I ended up doing. But, okay. So we see him take out the Trubbish and discard the energy. That's kind of nice for us. We are going to go ahead and send up Koko. We will attach the Choice Band to Necrozma. That will leave us just a little bit short though, because we hit for 100. 10 plus 60 for the 1 discard, plus 30, and he's got 110 left. So I'm gonna just Sycamore, try to get an energy, and go from there. Again, my mistake, because we could have also Guzma'd, and that would have been a sure thing. But we'll go ahead, get the energy, and you know, we might as well play the Field Blower as well. So we can knock off that and then retreat and take the KO. Oh, we get the victory screen. Okay, well that works too. So I think this list has a lot of answers for the different ways Volt can be played. Now that we've updated it to be a more aggressive build, I think it's really nice. So hopefully that's helpful, seeing it in action against one of the decks we used to have some problems with. With that, we'll go ahead and wrap up for today. This is Jeffrey, signing off.